flag at all. I think that's sometimes where the press gets it wrong. They want to put us on polar opposite sides as if we're enemies over a flag. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes it's a matter of a process as well, because I know a lot of people that would probably vote against the present design. They just want the right to vote. That's the distinction. Now, let me explain at least why I believe that people are so angry, because we've been told this is a moment of unity, but I checked social media last night and I didn't see very much unity. They're angry in large part because they feel like they don't have a voice. And they feel like they don't have a voice in the middle of a really interesting time in our country's history. This morning on the news, and you can't make this up, people were asking in Orange County, California, to change the name of John Wayne Airport. I didn't know John Wayne was a bad guy. Monument to Abraham Lincoln in Washington being defaced and asked to be torn down. I even heard someone say that perhaps the monument or a statue of Elvis in Tupelo was problematic. It's the context in which they have this debate that demands the people have their say. Senator Parker, you showed me a dollar bill a moment ago to prove a point about in God we trust, and it was a valid point. But if you look on that dollar bill, it's the picture of the founder of our country, George Washington. And right now, elements in this country are trying to tear down his memory. How much longer do you suppose he'll stay on that dollar bill? If you look on the $5 bill, President Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator, monuments being torn down in this country. How long do you suppose he will remain on the $5 bill? Andrew Jackson, on the $20 bill, monuments being torn down. You see, he was tainted by the sin of slavery, and consequently, he is illegitimate. He can't be a part of this country. How much longer do you suppose his name will be on those $20 bills? To insist that somehow this slippery slope is illogical is to ignore the tide of history. Everywhere we look, people are seeking these changes, and they will not be appeased. And so when people in this state sense that they don't have a voice in this context, they get that much more angry. They watch the same TV we do, and they're scared, and they're concerned, and they feel like they want one last say on this issue. So when it comes to the issue of pessimism, to the contrary, I love the people of Mississippi, and I trust them to make this decision. If they put this on the referendum, if they choose to change it, we will applaud that. If they choose to take it down, we will applaud that, or to keep it, we will applaud that conversely. Folks, you have to let the people have their say sometimes, if for no other reason than to diffuse the anger. They're just angry. They want to be heard. A couple of more things and I'll wrap up. We are better when we talk. We're better when we communicate. We're better when we debate. And every time we have this conversation, our children can learn about history, the good and the bad, and then we can make changes together. In my mind, that's the most appropriate way to move forward. Thomas Jefferson is one of my favorite founding fathers. And I suppose now that I've said that, in 15 years, that will disqualify me from holding office. He had such faith in the American people. He was a flawed man. He made huge mistakes. But he would always talk about the rights of the people. I'm paraphrasing, but he has a great quote about trusting the people. He says, if you don't trust the people, your job is not to take away their power. It's to inform their discretion. I feel like we're taking away their power. It just doesn't feel right. My position is if we let them vote, they'll come to the right